Hey guys, I'm getting to the point where I feel like my catchphrase is, hey guys, it's been a long time. The world's just crazy right now. The world's just weird. My life, which had already changed when I kind of dropped off the YouTube planet with my job and, working all summer, which I had never had to do before. Norm kind of opting out of the whole YouTube thing since his heart attack, which has been 2 years, by the way. It's the world kind of went on its ear for a really long time, and I'm noticing that a lot of my YouTube friends, who I consider my friends, they don't know me, but they're my friends and they don't have a choice. We're struggling through Weight Watchers or keto or whatever they were doing. They were struggling through it because the pandemic threw everybody's mojo off. So I had come to grips with the fact that I was manipulating the program. I came to grips with that a year ago, right? I know that I do things like sometimes little things, like I put in salad. Instead of putting in the components of my salad, I put in salad. And, it'll come up like, I don't know, restaurant house salad, whatever. And I don't make sure it had the avocado that was in it or whatever, right? I don't count avocado. I don't count my creamer in my coffee. Like, I know that I do certain things that are not on program. So, for example, last night, we went out to dinner. I ordered a pound of steamed shrimp because I'm a Maryland girl and we love our Old Bay and our steamed shrimp and crabs. So I ordered a pound of steamed shrimp, but then I thought, you know what, order a salad too. So it was called a Maryland Cobb salad, okay? So it had the most tiny amount of blue cheese in it, and I didn't even eat it. I pushed it to the side because it was like that much. It had like a vinaigrette dressing that was barely on there. I almost asked for more dressing, and I never do that. It was all veg with an egg, which I counted, 2 slices of avocado, which I did not count, about that much, meaning like that much, Maryland jumbo lump crab meat, and 3 steamed but not seasoned shrimp. So I put in the shrimp. I added the shrimp to the half pound that I ended up eating because I didn't eat the whole pound. I ate a half pound. I looked up the crab meat, but for the tablespoon that was in there, it was like 0, I think. But I didn't sit there and go, oh, I have to do the avocado, and I don't even know if I did the egg, to be honest with you. I think I did, but there was like half a crumble of bacon in there, which I know I didn't count for. So I put in like salad, and then I put in a couple of the components. So, that's the thing. I know that I lazy track. I do days where I mental track, where I'm like, oh, I think I'm on track. When I was at my parents' house for the 4 days we were in Myrtle Beach, didn't track at all. And that's a whole nother mental mind game where I don't track, so I'm like, it's a free-for-all. We literally ate it, all-you-can-eat buffets 2 nights in a row. So, go me. But, coming back off vacation, I had gained 1 pound. Well, by the time I got on the scale, I had gained 1 pound. When we came back, I kind of hit the diet reset pretty hard. So while we were away, Norm decided that, he's gotten to his biggest weight ever, and he's ready to kind of hit that diet switch too. that wall where he's like, I really can't get any bigger. But what I realized is when I came home from Myrtle Beach and I hit, which has been over a week now, and I hit that diet reset, that number, and I've done pretty well except for last night, not counting the salad very well. I have not lost that pound. My body is not working to eliminate things it should be eliminating. Number 2 is not working. So I started to kind of rethink things when it came to Weight Watchers. I love Weight Watchers, but Weight Watchers is not working for me. Now, whether that means it's not working because I'm not doing it correctly, or whether it means it's not working because it's just not working, I don't know. It's probably a combination of both. But my realization was, either way, it's not working. So I'm spending the $30 or whatever it is a month, and I'm not getting any results. My weight has not moved, and it's probably, so I had quit Weight Watchers for a while and had gone to iTrack Bites. And iTrack Bites definitely wasn't working because it was too cumbersome. I didn't like the app, whatever. But I had quit iTrack Bites I had quit Weight Watchers so that I could go back to what's now the Green Plan. Believe it or not, in the summertime though, I truly miss Freestyle. But Freestyle put 15 pounds on me, and I cannot get this 15 pounds off. So I have been up these 15 pounds since at least March 13th, which is when I went back to Weight Watchers, which coincidentally was our last day of school before we got sent out on our COVID-cation. I personally, I have not decided what I'm going to do about like the Weight Watchers app, and am I still going to count points and whatnot. My journey, I believe, still includes Weight Watchers in some respect. However, while we were in Myrtle Beach, I had to do a online whole district school administration end of year meeting. And while I was doing that, it was, I don't know, 3 hours, 4 hours. While we were doing that, Norm was talking to a friend of his that sells some type of diet something, right? It's like, I swear to God, it reminds me of the stuff that Oprah did, like the Medifast, Optifast, I don't know, something, right? First of all, anything that has the word fast in it, I don't love. So he talked to this guy, and it was all about shakes and bars, and your one lean green meal, and I don't know. I really don't know. Like, it sounds like a great jumping off point. However, I have a teacher at my job, a couple of teachers at my job who have done this program, and they all say the same thing. The minute you stop doing it, even though they have a maintenance plan, the minute you stop doing it, the weight comes back on. And I think that's any plan. So Norm and I talked about it. I looked it up. He was a little gung-ho. He was kind of ready to order them. I looked it up. I looked up the reviews. I saw that the bars and the shakes got kind of crappy reviews. Like they don't taste good. And then the real big one for me was it said that heart patients should not do this diet. Norm is considered a heart patient. He will be considered a heart patient for the rest of his life. So, I kind of vetoed it. I was like, I don't think it's a good idea. Now, if you want to do it as a jump off for a month, 2 months, because he has gotten kind of that big, I would endorse it. it, but you have to go to your cardiologist first. He does go to his cardiologist next week. We'll see what happens. So we started doing some research on diets in general. So I found this documentary. It was called The Perfect Human Diet. And it was really about kind of this paleo, zero carb, whole food diet. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm not doing paleo. I'm not, because I can't eat that much meat. I've got to have vegetables. I've got to have fruit. Then we did a little more research into a diet that was called, or to a documentary. I am a documentary nut. I will watch any documentary about anything, and I'll watch it more than once. So this one was about fat. I believe it's actually called The Documentary About Fat. And it talked about, because that was always my fear about eating meat and about eating so much meat and whatever, is that, well, there's so much fat in it and cholesterol and whatever. And after I did that, I started reading studies, and not just studies for paleo, but also studies against paleo. And what I found is that a modification of that would work for Norm. It will not work for me, but it will work for him. So what he is doing is he has started this paleo. Basically what he's done is he's given up carbs, so he's having very, let me say that, that's not true. He's having very little bread. He is having zero dairy. Again, very little dairy. He has about a piece of cheese a day. He has cut his portion sizes way back. And the man who for the last couple of months has eaten at least half a box of Tasty Cakes when he sits down to eat them, has given up Tasty Cakes and has gone to a Yasso ice cream bar. One. So he did buy himself a couple of protein bars that he ended up not liking. So, but he has cut way back. Now, in the time we've been home, we got back last Tuesday, not this past Tuesday, but the Tuesday before. Today's Thursday, by the way. And he has lost 9.5 pounds. So anything was going to work for him, and that really kind of, held true for me. It was that anything was going to work for him because he had to do something. Now he's going to hit a point where it's not working anymore, and he's going to have to do something else. So yesterday was my weepy day, and I sent him a text, and I said, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I don't care how fat I get. I cannot get this weight off. I'm 190 pounds, which is 15 pounds heavier than I was last summer, when I was actually pretty happy with my weight. It was only 175, wasn't the best, but 175 was my original short-term goal. So I had reached that. And I was just really unhappy yesterday, and I was like, no matter what I do, I cannot get this weight off. So we talked about it for a while, and I said, I really think I'm just going to quit. I'm going to quit doing Weight Watchers. I'm going to quit trying, And he said, no, because if you quit trying, I'll quit trying. So, okay. So what am I going to do? So we started trying to pinpoint, when was I successful? What was I doing when I was successful? Well, one of the things that happened during the shutdown was I had started running/walking again. I have a love-hate relationship with running, because now that I have been a runner, I have a hard time convincing myself that walking is just as good or even better or whatever, because walking for me doesn't feel like I'm working out. Anyway, during the shutdown, I had gone back to this walking, running thing. My treadmill stopped working. It's too hot outside to actually work out outside, and I don't like to run outside because my neighborhood is, I live my nephew. He likes it because he's just walking on it. I told Norm I needed a new treadmill. I wanted the Big Daddy, like the one I had before. It does all the bells and whistles because that's what I want. I want it to look like I'm in the gym. So he went out and bought me this like $1,700 treadmill, which is normally like over $2,000, but it was on sale. And I used it. I probably used it about 2 weeks, and then we went back to work. Now I'm having a hard time finding the time to do it. But during that time that I was working out, which was about a 2-month span, I still didn't lose any weight because I haven't lost any weight, like I said, since at least March 13th. Probably before then, but that's the day I'm going with, March 13th. So it's not working out, right? So working out's not the thing. We do know that my bathroom issues are bad. Like, I don't go like I'm supposed to, and I get bloated, and I get gross, and I get to the point where I feel like I can't eat. Like yesterday, for example, I ate some crackers, I ate a RX bar, and then when I went to the restaurant, I ate half my salad and half a pound of shrimp, and I could have knocked out that pound of shrimp on a normal basis, and I wasn't hungry, and it's because nothing has come out of me, and I can't tell you how long. So that's one of the things I know I've got to fix. So for me, the problem is fixes for that problem. I've had this problem since I was a kid, and fixes for me work for a little while and then stop working. So I know that whatever I do is not going to be the be all and end all. So I've got to make sure that that's okay. So what I mean by that is I've got to be okay with the fact that the tea is going to work for a little while, and then it's not. And then the probiotic's going to work for a little while, and then it's not. And then the prebiotic's going to work for a little while, and then it's not. I could use the powdered one, and it'll work for a while. I could use the pill, and it'll work for a while. But nothing's going to work 100% for the rest of my life, and I'm going to have to switch it up. So my problem is I would buy, for example, the probiotic, and I'm like, well, I've got to finish the box because I bought it. So I've got to realize that I may have to spend and invest in a couple of different things in order to be, staying regular, right? When I mean regular, unlike most people, my regular is I'd like to go at least once a day because I don't. So we know that that's one thing that needs to happen. So I started my tea regimen because it's what I have to happen at home. Happen to have at home, and I haven't used anything in a while, so this will work for a little while. So what I do is I take a Smooth Move tea every other day, and then on the off day of Smooth Move tea, I take a same brand, but it is called Weightless, and that keeps down, it's like a cranberry tea, and that keeps down the bloat, and it actually makes you pee more. So I'm going to start that for the next 2 weeks, see where that gets me. The other thing that keeps coming up in all of these documentaries, even in the thing that Norm looked at, the Opti Nutra Fast system, whatever, even that, and I'm noticing in other programs too that I'm looking through, it's telling me I have to eat every 2 or 3 hours, because what I have done is really, really, really kind of screwed up my metabolism. And one of the reasons I know that is because when Norm and I really sat down yesterday and looked at my diet pretty hard for the last month, what I was doing was I was intermittent fasting, sort of. I wasn't eating until between noon and 2 in the afternoon. I was eating one large meal, which was like lunch, dinner kind of meal. And then I was having like a snack to go to bed. My most I was eating was one small meal and one big meal, and then and then like a snack. But everything that I've researched now has said I have to reset my metabolism. Which is so counterproductive to me because it says you have to eat. So what I did today, starting today, I ate breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. I'm not a breakfast eater. So I eat breakfast at 7 o'clock. Theoretically, I should have to eat again at 9. I'm not going to be hungry at 9. I can promise you I'm not going to be hungry at 9. If I eat at 9, I'm going to have to force it. But I think what I'm going to start with is eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then going from there. But that's where my brain is. I was talking to Julie on Facebook. Julie from Living Large on Lifetime. And I told her, I said, look, I got to rethink everything. Like this is not working for me. So she said, let her know when I figure it out. Well, what I've figured out is that, I got to reset my metabolism. I know that. And what I'd like to do is figure out a way to reset my metabolism and stay within my Weight Watchers points. So that's going to require some strange manipulation because I've been sticking to my points. I've been sticking right at my points, only having the 2 meals, which means I've been having big meals. So if I'm going to do this with like snacks and things, I'm going to have to make sure that I have either 0 or very low point snacks. So that's my thought. I've got to reset my metabolism. I got to start working out again. And I've got to drink more water, and I've got to get my body mechanisms to do what they're supposed to do. So that's where I am right now. All within the Weight Watchers realm. Let's see how it works. If you have any suggestions, put them in the comments. Talk to you soon.